Hey, what is going on, everybody? Desir here with our Week 2 weekly recap. Now, if you're new to the channel or haven't seen this video before, what we'll typically do is we'll look at a few attacks that were done throughout the week, do a deep dive of the attack and try to replicate it, maybe even improve on the attack. In today's video, I have 3 attacks that I did throughout the week, and I also have 2 attacks that were actually sent to me from the community, so be sure to look at those as well, and I'll give shoutouts to those people once we get to those videos. If you do end up liking this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Without further ado, let's get into it. For the first video, we're going to look at my attack that I did on the Superior Knights team, because I know this is going to be a very tough team. The ISOs I have, I feel, are correct for my side of the field, so I have all Raiders except Apocalypse as a striker, because he does spawn with that safeguard and the immunity, so you don't have to worry about him getting ability blocked. For the other side, I feel like having Doc Ock and Green Goblin Classic, either as Skirmisher or Raiders, would be the better bet. Probably Raider for Doc Ock. For Green Goblin Classic, I could see case for the Skirmisher because that turn 1 ult that he does, but otherwise I would probably stick with a Raider on him as well. So the opening is going to come down to which Lizard goes second is going to have the better advantage. So the enemy Lizard goes first. He is a Skirmisher. If this was a different team, they'd all be ability blocked right now, unless they had the Raider ISO on them. And here you see the Black Knights already starting to do the retaliates. The enemy Green Goblin Classic now goes, does the ult, and does a turn rewind. Again, if he was a Skirmisher, that'd be another chance to ability block. Because the Green Goblin Classic does have that charge, our ult, even if we were a Skirmisher, they wouldn't be ability blocked right now. So that's why I kind of like a Raider on him, try to go for the spike damage. Now, the Black Knight did end up doing the special right there. He does have a very high resistance. I could see a case for him being a Skirmisher. I actually like him being a striker in this type of composition because of all of the vulnerables that are going to be out there. However, the Green Goblin Classic does stop the vulnerables, so that's something to keep in mind. It's just, you kind of have to go for the mirror match. For here, I did end up summoning out the Shocker. And there, the enemy Doc Ock ended up doing the ultimate to extend those debuffs. The Black Knight does the ultimate right here. And now we do our ultimate and then finish the matchup. This is a very risky matchup. This was a 400k punch down. And as you see, I still almost lost it. So kind of beware on this matchup. This is a very good defensive team, but it does pull your Superior 6 off of offense to be able to use it. This is another attack that I did earlier this week. It was against the Secret Defenders with Morgan and Dorm. I used my Super Skrull, Vahl, Vulture, Archangel, and Nova. I thought this was a pretty interesting composition as far as a team makeup goes, so I kind of wanted to show this one again. This is doing a punch across as well. For this attack, Super Skrull's gonna go first, and I actually ended up using the special on the Black Cat. I wanted to give a rewind on the Morgan Le Fay. That way I don't have to really worry about her ult right off the bat, and I'm able to get an exposed mechanic out there to kind of help Vahl and Super Skrull out. Vulture's gonna go next. I end up using the special because you see there that it does actually flip positive effects, and it can put slows out there to really get the turn meter advantage on the opponent. Next up is going to be Super Skrull again. I'm going to target the Morgan and do the basic, and the Black Cat does end up breaking up the chain attack there. Vahl is now up. I'm going to target the Ms. Marvel Hardlight and do the special. I want to get another exposed mechanic out there, plus it's going to do that ability block. That way I don't have to worry about Ms. Marvel Harlight doing the ultimate for the turn meter rewind. Now Archangel is up. I'm going to end up using the ultimate ability on Morgan Le Fay that should kill her off typically, and then it's going to do a turn meter rewind to the opponent. That way I start getting that turn meter going. This was a mistake I did. I ended up using Nova's special against the Dorm. He can't be stunned, but I still did splash damage, so it wasn't terrible. I end up using the ultimate on the Super Skrull, and now all I have left to kill is going to be Robbie and Ms. Marvel Harlight. Archangel works very well in this composition because of doing the turn meter rewinds as you're killing people off, especially in a Dorm comp like this one. Another common defense that we see is going to be the X-Treme X-Men with Black Knight. This one here ended up being in a stage 4, which does counter a lot of the villain teams because they're going to have less health, and the Black Knight and the Cyclops pings could do some major damage to you. For my team comp, I ended up using the Superior 6 with Apocalypse. I did end up putting Vulture in here, that way he could counter that Nightcrawler speed ups that he gets on the spawn. Now, because of all the heroes on the other side, my Vulture will be going first. I have a choice of either starting with the special or the ultimate on here. Ultimately, I decided to use the special first. I wanted to try to flip some of those positive effects, especially the Black Knight ones. Green Goblin Classic is going to go next. I'm going to use the ultimate and do that turn meter rewind since we didn't do that on Vulture's first turn. And here you see the Retaliate from Cyclops and Black Knight already dropped the Green Goblin Classic into the yellow. I end up using Kraven's Special on the Black Knight here. And now for Doc Ock, because of those traumas and heal blocks, I'm actually going to use his ultimate. I want to extend all of those negative effects on the enemy side. And there Forge ended up doing the ultimate. He did some healing, but the heal blocks definitely kind of stopped that. I lost Doc Ock right here. Apocalypse's turn is up. I'm going to use the ultimate. Unfortunately, the Nightcrawler still lived. I was hoping that he would end up dying from that ultimate. Now Apocalypse is going to do the Falcon Punch. I used it on the Black Knight. The Retaliate does end up killing. I used Vulture's ultimate. Nightcrawler ended up falling over dead, and now use the special from the Green Goblin Classic. This was a very close matchup to where I could have lost it, so definitely keep your power levels in mind if you do this counter. For this attack here, we have this one coming from my Discord channel. The link of that's going to be in the description below if you do want to end up joining that. This person's name is Maginity or Maginty. I'm sorry if I'm really butchering that. I'm trying to say it out loud and I know I'm killing it. They were kind of limited on what they had to use on their offensive side, so we kind of came up with this team. So we're using Undying, Apocalypse, Doom, and they're going into Secret Defenders with Apocalypse. And as you see, this is a pretty hefty punch up. They're 2.1 million, going into about 2.8 million, so it's about 700k. This does end up working, so let's go ahead and take a look at the video. So right off the bat, the Ms. Marvel Harlight's going to go and use the ultimate on the Zombie Juggernaut. That does end up pushing the Doom on here, so the size of your Doom will matter. He ends up targeting the Ms. Marvel Harlight because of that taunt that is on her. Apocalypse does go for the ride on this one instead of the Zombie Juggernaut. He ends up going to the Robbie Reyes doing the special. The ISO attack does end up putting the stun on him. He does the Falcon Punch on the enemy Apocalypse and then takes out the Photon and the Robbie Reyes right there, with the assist of Black Cat attacking the Robbie Reyes because of the Zombie Iron Man. Zombie Juggernaut does the special. The Hela ends up doing the ultimate to spread the negative effects for the bleeds, and now it's a very easy cleanup on the Ms. Marvel Hardlight and the Black Cat. So this counter worked very well. You do have to keep in mind though that your Zombie Juggernaut could go for the ride instead though. I have another video that was sent to me. This one is by Shadow Drum. Thanks again for sending this one because the defense on here is the Gambit Rogue, Tangled Web Black Knight in Stage 1. This is another fairly popular defensive team that we've been seeing lately, either in like a Stage 1 or Stage 5 comp. This one here, the full Superior 6, went into this, and they had a pretty good efficiency score. The Lizard will be starting the match off by doing the ultimate. He gets the extra turn meter because of the Tangled Web on the other side of the field. Now the interesting thing about this defense is that Gambit and Black Knight, anytime you go, you will be getting retaliated, so that's something to keep in mind. Green Goblin Classic's going to use that ultimate to do that turn meter rewind. Craven goes next and will use the special on the Black Knight. That's going to get the ability block on him so he doesn't get the taunt up. The Green Goblin Classic pings did end up killing the Spider Weaver right there. Spider Slayer's up next. He's able to start with the ultimate because there was the Tangled Web on the other side of the field. That kills the Black Knight. Next target that he needs to kill is going to be the Gambit. He uses the Lizard special. The ISO attack ends up finishing him off. Now all that's left is the Rogue. This was a pretty efficient counter, and because the Tangled Web is there, you actually get some speed bonuses. And that is all the fights that we have for week 2 of Cosmic Crucible. If you have any interesting matchups throughout the week, feel free to jump into my Discord, and I do have a channel there to where you can actually upload your counters. I also have a channel in there to where you can upload screenshots of rooms. That way you can try to help out the community as well. If you did find this video useful and you did end up enjoying it, then please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also in the comments section, put down what fight that you found interesting the most. I'm kind of curious on your thoughts. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.